You might think you know the Legion of Superheroes, but here are 12 facts you may not have known about these teenagers from the 30th century. The Legion of Superheroes debuted in 1958's Adventure Comics number 247 in a Superboy story written by Otto Bender and Al Plastino. By Adventure Comics number 300 in 1962, the Legion received a recurring feature in that title. They would first headline their own series in 1973, which reprinted old Adventure Comics stories. One of the founding members of the Legion, Lightning Lad, was killed in 1963's Adventure Comics number 304, and then revived through the sacrifice of Chameleon Boy's shape-shifting pet Brody in issue number 312, making Lightning Lad the first superhero to be brought back from the dead in comics. In 1966, the Legion of Superheroes received a new writer with Adventure Comics number 346, Jim Shooter, who was only 14 years old when he was hired. He would be one of the most influential writers on the title, introducing such characters as the Fatal Five, Mordru, Karate Kid, and Pharaoh Lad, who would be the first permanent death on the team. 1977's X-Men number 107 introduced the Shiar Imperial Guard, who were designed to be homages to the Legion, with Gladiator being a take on Superboy, Smasher based on Ultra Boy, Fang based on Timber Wolf, and so on. The Imperial Guard was co-created by Dave Cockrum, who had famously drawn the Legion a few years before. Since the Legion was first introduced as a team inspired by the adventures of Superboy, and the Boy of Steel was a major part of their adventures, the book was obviously impacted by Superboy being removed from continuity by Crisis on Infinite Earths. The book revealed that the Superboy which inspired the Legion came from a pocket universe created by the Time Trapper. In 1989, a new volume of the book told of a 5-year time jump following the Magic Wars, which showed an older, darker Legion fighting to protect a world under the control of the alien dominators. In this era, Superboy was removed from Legion continuity altogether, with the Daxamite Mon-El taking his place as the team's aspirational hero. One major story from this era introduced Batch SW6, who were a group of time-displaced younger clones of the Legion created by the Dominators. This group would be given their own title, called Legionnaires, which was a more lighthearted alternative to the main title. The Legion's history would be completely rebooted in 1994, following the events of Zero Hour. Many of the characters would receive new names, such as Lightning Lad being renamed Livewire, Triplicate Girl being renamed Triad, Phantom Girl being renamed Apparition, and Colossal Boy as Leviathan. Legion continuity was rebooted again in 2004 by Mark Waid and Barry Kitson in an era known as, appropriately, the Three-Boot Legion. This series reintroduced all the boy, lad, girl last names that were eliminated in the last version, as well as establishing that Colossal Boy was actually a giant who grows small rather than an average-sized dude who gets big. But hold on, we're not done rebooting yet. Following the events of Infinite Crisis, a new version of the Legion was introduced in a Justice League story called the Lightning Saga, and more fully established in a team-up with Superman. But they're not really a new version, they are technically just a slightly modified version of the original team, with Superboy having been returned to the continuity. All three versions of the Legion would team up in a Final Crisis tie-in called, appropriately, Legion of Three Worlds. In this story, it is revealed that the reboot Legion was actually from Earth 247, which was destroyed during Infinite Crisis, and the three-boot Legion came from a reconstructed Earth Prime. Ironically, Legion wasn't the only title that didn't get rebooted by the New 52, as their new title at that time simply continued the adventures of the retro boot Legion. However, their title was cancelled in 2013, and recent events of DC Rebirth hint to a return for the Legion of Superheroes. That's it for this episode of You Think You Know Comics. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more comics facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comics awesomeness.